You were not born to beg for respect. You were not made to walk this world invisible, apologizing for your ambition, shrinking to make others comfortable. You were forged by fire, sculpted by unseen hands, a living force designed not merely to exist, but to dominate. Yet domination is not chaos. It is not brute destruction. It is the art of power, the silent gravity that bends the wills of others without ever staining your soul with hatred. Respect is your birthright. Fear is your weapon. Hatred is your downfall. Master this triad, and the world bends, willingly or unwillingly, to your vision. You must understand, people do not naturally love the strong. They envy the strong. They fear the strong. But they respect the strong when strength is wielded with discipline, precision, and restraint. If you crave love more than power, you will be weak. If you demand loyalty without inspiring fear, you will be betrayed. If you rule with cruelty, you will be despised. And the despised man is the hunted man, the man who cannot walk safely among his people, the leader who cannot sleep without a knife at his side, the creator who is cursed even by those who once worshipped him. You must never give them a reason to hate you. Be sharp, be decisive, be fair, but never be soft, never be careless. Never show the world a heart they can break, because they will break it with laughter. Machiavelli knew. The world is not a place of perfect justice. It is a game of forces, and the wise player does not weep at the unfairness of the board. He studies it, masters it, reshapes it. You are not here to play by rules made for the weak. You are here to rise silently if you must, brutally if you must, but always with a mind sharper than any sword. Mindset is your fortress. You cannot control how others perceive you, but you can control what you project. Strength without cruelty, authority without arrogance, vision without apology. This is how you carve your place into stone, not into sand. Belief is your foundation. If you do not believe you deserve to be respected, you will live your life chasing scraps of validation. You will fall into traps of endless pleasing, endless explaining, endless compromising, until the spirit that once could have ruled kingdoms is nothing more than ash in the wind. You do not ask permission to be powerful. You do not wait for the world to grant you a seat at its table. You seize your chair, carve your throne from the wreckage of your old self, and dare the world to try to move you. You are belief in motion, and belief, when it is absolute, commands not with words but with presence. Clarity cuts through the noise. In a world full of lost voices and broken promises, the man who knows exactly what he stands for, exactly what he will not tolerate, exactly where he is going, that man becomes unstoppable. Most people wander, most people react, most people are tossed by the storms of gossip, jealousy, and fear. But not you. You are the storm. You move with purpose. You speak with precision. You decide quickly and act even faster. When you are clear in your values, clear in your mission, clear in the image you burn into the minds of others, the world will either kneel or be swept aside. Vision is not fantasy. Vision is the architecture of dominance. You do not dream idly. You dream strategically. You see the future before it arrives, and you build yourself into the man who deserves to rule it. Do not mistake kindness for weakness, but never allow your ambition to descend into cruelty. You are here to outlast, outmaneuver, and outshine, not to self-destruct. Your vision must be so vivid that when you close your eyes, you are not merely imagining a life of power, you are remembering it, as if it already belongs to you, because it does. Purpose gives you immortality. The kings of old, the warriors, the thinkers, the builders, they understood this truth. Survival is not enough. You must leave behind echoes so thunderous they shake the bones of history. If you live only for comfort, you will be forgotten. If you live for purpose, you will be feared beyond your own time, respected beyond your own death. Your purpose must not be survival. Your purpose must be conquest. Conquest of self, conquest of fear, conquest of the destiny that lesser men abandoned at the first sign of struggle. Discipline is your sword. The world tests you, not with grand battles, but with 1,000 small temptations. Comfort, laziness, distraction, pride. Every day you sharpen or you dull. Every day you rise or you fall. There is no standing still. The undisciplined man is a pawn in the games of others. The disciplined man writes the rules. You must become ruthless with your time, brutal with your focus, unwavering in your habits. The man who controls his day controls his fate. The man who controls his emotions controls his empire. Action carves the world into the shape of your will. Thoughts without execution are hallucinations. Words without deeds are lies you tell yourself to feel alive. Fear without action becomes regret. Courage without action becomes fantasy. You do not think yourself into greatness, you act your way there. You bleed your way there. You move forward when you are exhausted. You press forward when you are doubted. You rip forward when the path is broken, because it is in the forging that you become unbreakable. Gratitude is your armor, not the shallow gratitude of the weak who thank the world only when it is easy. No, true gratitude is the fierce acknowledgement of every challenge that sharpened your soul, every betrayal that opened your eyes, every loss that ripped away illusions you were too blind to see. You do not resent hardship. You bless it. You do not curse resistance. You welcome it, because you understand every obstacle is a refining fire, burning away weakness, leaving behind only the pure, unyielding steel of your true self. Adaptability is your hidden blade. The rigid are broken, the inflexible are forgotten. Power belongs not to the one who resists change, but to the one who bends it to his will. You must flow like water, shapeless, formless, unstoppable. If you are rooted only in your ego, you will be shattered. If you are rooted in strategy, you will endure. When the battlefield changes, you adapt faster. When the storm shifts, you reposition first. When the enemy evolves, you are already 2 moves ahead. Adaptability is not surrender. It is tactical dominance in motion. Resilience is your unbreakable spirit. You will be betrayed. You will be underestimated. You will be wounded by those you once trusted. Let it happen. Let it carve its lessons into your bones. You were never here to live an easy story. You were here to live a legendary one. The strongest men are not those who never fell. They are those who were crushed, shattered, and burned and yet stood up anyway. Eyes fierce, heart unstoppable, scars gleaming like medals of war. Resilience is your proof that nothing and no one will define you except your own hand. Learning is your secret weapon. The man who thinks he knows enough has already sealed his fate. Every conversation, every failure, every moment of silence is a battlefield of lessons if you are sharp enough to see it. You must become a predator of knowledge, hunting wisdom with relentless hunger, devouring insight wherever you find it. You must be faster to learn than others are to adapt. You must be willing to destroy old versions of yourself with brutal speed to become the weapon the future demands. The wise conquer not just with strength, but with strategy, foresight, and evolution. You are not here to be loved by the masses. You are here to be respected by the worthy, feared by the foolish, and hated by none. If you master this, if you walk the razor's edge between awe and terror, between strength and humanity, you will not merely survive in this brutal world. You will rise. You will command. You will leave a mark so deep that the world will feel your presence long after your final breath. Be respected. Be feared, but never be hated. Rule yourself, and you will rule everything. You will not find peace chasing the approval of those too afraid to walk their own path. You will not find fulfillment asking permission from the timid to live a life of magnitude. Power is not given. It is taken, not through brute force, but through a relentless, disciplined force of will that cannot be bought, cannot be bribed, and cannot be broken. You must stand so firmly in your own command that the world around you feels the weight of your existence before you even speak. Every step you take must declare, I am here. I will not ask. I will not wait. I will not fall. The mind of a ruler is not cluttered by petty emotions. It is not swayed by the cheap applause of the crowd or the empty praise of cowards. You must see through the games of flattery and deceit. You must know that many will smile to your face and sharpen daggers behind your back. That many will shout your name in celebration one day and whisper your downfall the next. It does not matter. The eagle does not concern itself with the opinions of crows. You rise above. You glide on currents unseen. You focus not on noise, but on necessity. Control is not about domination of others. It begins within. You must govern the wild forces of your own soul, your anger, your pride, your doubt, the restless voices that would pull you down into self-destruction if left unchecked. A man who cannot control himself has no business attempting to control anything else. True mastery begins with silence, with patience, with a mind that can remain unmoved when storms rage and kingdoms fall. If you can stand unmoved, you can move others. If you can remain centered when others collapse, you become inevitable. Your reputation is a fortress. Build it wisely. Guard it fiercely. Understand this. Men judge not only by the truth, but by the image. Your deeds must not only be strong, they must be seen to be strong. Your actions must not only be just, they must be seen to be just. In every encounter, in every decision, you are either strengthening your legend or shattering it. Reputation travels faster than your words, faster than your plans, faster than your armies. It is the shadow that enters the room before you do and lingers long after you are gone. Make sure it speaks in a voice of strength. In leadership, mercy is a weapon, but only when wielded by the strong. Mercy from weakness is despised. Mercy from strength is revered. You must be able to punish without hesitation, but wise enough to know when punishment gains nothing. You must be feared enough that your mercy feels like a gift, not a right. To forgive too easily is to teach others you can be crossed without consequence. To punish too harshly is to breed rebellion in the hearts of men. Find the middle path, where respect and fear walk hand in hand behind you and hatred never dares to bloom. There will be times when you must act decisively, brutally even, to protect what you have built. Do not shy away. Do not hesitate. The cost of delay is always higher than the cost of action. Weakness disguised as compassion is still weakness. You must cut cleanly when you must cut it all. Dragging out a necessary blow only increases suffering for you and for them. Learn to strike with precision. Learn to end conflicts before they ignite into infernos. Mercy at the wrong time destroys empires. Ruthlessness at the right time preserves them for generations. Understand, too, that fear must never become terror. When fear crosses into hatred, it rots the foundations of power. It sows the seeds of betrayal, of insurrection, of eventual collapse. You do not want your people, your followers, your allies to dream of your fall in the dark hours of the night. You want them to sleep knowing that their fate is safest under your shadow. You want them to respect you because they know you are just and to fear you because they know you are unstoppable. Strike this balance, and you will not merely rule, you will endure. The lion and the fox. Machiavelli spoke of both not as rivals, but as twin essences of power. The lion for strength, for raw force when deceit fails. The fox for cunning, for slipping through traps that would snare the proud and the blind. You must be both. You must roar when you must, and vanish when you must. There is no honor in walking blindly into a hunter's snare simply because you wish to seem brave. There is no wisdom in allowing a threat to grow out of pride. The greatest rulers know when to roar, when to strike, and when to disappear. Deception, when used correctly, is not betrayal, it is strategy. You owe honesty to your vision, to your mission, but not to your enemies. You must be willing to cloak your intentions, to mislead those who seek to destroy you, to disguise your strength until it is too late for your enemies to defend. The world is not a fair place. It rewards the bold, the cunning, the ruthless, not the naive. Do not confuse your moral compass with self-sabotage. Protect what you have built. Guard your dreams with fire. Defend your vision with every weapon at your disposal. But remember, deception must be a weapon, not a way of life. If you become nothing but lies, you lose even yourself. Integrity is not about honesty to the unworthy, it is about loyalty to your higher self. Your word when given must be iron. Your promises when made must be kept, or your empire will crumble from within. Deceive your enemies? Yes. Never deceive your own soul. Build a life so solid, so pure in its foundation, that even those who hate you must admit in the secret chambers of their hearts that you are undeniable. Power is lonely. Do not fear this. Most cannot understand you. Most will resent you. Let them. You do not need the approval of the crowd. You need only the clarity of your own vision and the discipline to see it through. Greatness is not built in the warm embrace of acceptance. It is built in the cold forge of isolation. When you feel most alone, know that you are walking the true path. When you are doubted, mocked, vilified, know that you are dangerous enough to be noticed. And dangerous is exactly what you must become. Not reckless, not foolish, but a force so formidable that to stand against you is to invite ruin. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be legend. You are here to carve your existence into the very bones of history. Let them respect you. Let them fear you. But never, never let them hate you. Because when they hate you, they will plot your downfall. When they fear you with respect, they will guard your empire for you. Move like a shadow, strike like a storm, stand like a monument. Build yourself into something too strong to break, too sharp to dull, too necessary to be erased. You were not born to apologize for your strength. You were born to master it. Be respected, be feared, but never be hated, and in doing so, become unstoppable.